Yeah. All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the County of Berrien. It is a pleasure to have you all here this morning. A little bit of housekeeping. Please silence or turn off all electronic devices during the duration of our meeting. Any materials that you wish to have presented to the Board of Commissioners, please do so by giving it to our Sergeant of Arms, which is Commissioner Jim Kern. And then during the appropriate times in the agenda, if you wish to address the board, please do so by going to the podium, state your name, jurisdiction, and you'll have 2 minutes to address any matters to the board at that time. With that having been all done and handled, we will do roll call.
Bell,
Here.
Curran,
Here.
Freeling,
Present.
Harrison,
Here. Here.
Hinkleman, Pittsburgh is absent, Ott, here, Tyler, here, Borath,
Here.
Ruffalo is absent, Yarborough is absent, and so is Elliott.
All right, thank you. We have a quorum. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for March 20th, 2025. We have on the agenda, it says 2024, but it's 2025.
Oops.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you. There's been a motion, support by Commissioner Volrath. So the motion was made by Commissioner Tyler, supported by Commissioner Volrath. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Minutes are approved. Requisition review.
Good morning. Does anybody have any questions about the requisition list? Great, thank you.
So that will make its way around the horn and we will consider that in our consent agenda at 10:30. Now we come to the fun part, the scheduled discussion. The first item that we have on the agenda is Southwest Michigan Regional Chamber. And I believe we have Sarah and yes, Jasmine. I thought I saw Jasmine's face back there. Hello. From the chamber here to do an award presentation for Silver Beach. Excellent. So if you would be so kind as to go to the podium. That way those who are joining us in virtual lands can hear and see.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sarah Twinnell with the Southwest Michigan Regional Chamber. This is Jasmine Hansen.
Good morning.
We're incredibly excited to be here to present the award to the Berrien County Parks Department for the Silver Beach Playground project. That was the recipient of our Community Placemaking Award at our annual meeting back in February. So this is the inaugural award, and we're just so thankful that it went to Jill. There were lots of great nominees, but what you all have been able to do with the parks down there at Silver Beach have been amazing and greatly appreciated. So we'd like to present this award to you, Jill, and your team. Stand up, guys.
Here's some video little thing. I put your hand up there for me to find it. Yeah, perfect, right here. She's like the other mom, right?
The mom need is Jill, would you like to say anything about the efforts that were made for the award or? Awesome. I know that kind of leads into the next part of our agenda, but by all
Yeah.
means, please.
First, I want to thank the chamber for providing these opportunities and getting us all together to learn about the community projects that are going on. But I do want to highlight our staff too. So we've got Matt Carlson, Alex Lockwitz, Jason Field, and Genevieve Graves, and also Sue Patzer, who couldn't be here this morning. For 2 years behind the scenes, they've been a part of every aspect of this project. So just kind of want to highlight all of us. And now I'm going to give you a very quick update. A quick update on where the Silver Beach Playground project is in its progress. All right, so This is the rendering that we've been working from for 2 years now. And just to give you an idea or a reminder, the various parts of the project, we've got a hard surface walkway that goes around the playground area. We've got the poured in place accessible safety surfacing that will go underneath each of the play structures. And the playground itself is made up of a zip line, a smaller structure that is designed for ages 2 through 5, a larger structure designed for ages 5 through 12. And then actually hidden right there is a surfboard feature, which will be my favorite. And then we've got a 8 swing set to the north. So of this project, the equipment was delivered on February 17th, and we were so excited. We took some selfies with it. We were really excited to be there for the delivery. The first couple weeks of March, with good weather, allowed our contractor to pour some concrete and get the hard surface surrounding border area almost complete. And then just to give you an idea how quick work our installer is making, this picture was taken March 18th at 7:30 in the morning. And this is the same day at 7 p.m. So as long as that weather is kept up, we've been able to make great progress down there the last few weeks. Right now, these are some, I guess, up-to-date pictures, but these pictures were taken yesterday afternoon and more progress is happening this morning. So if you have a chance, please go down and check it out and you'll see even more things completed. These are just some fun pictures of some of the aspects that really kind of from the rendering jump off that page, and it's happening. We were very excited to see that. So right now we are doing regular progress meetings with our contractor. Most of the equipment will be installed by the end of this week, actually the end of today, but they've got tomorrow as well. We are waiting on a couple pieces of equipment which will be installed when they arrive. Another aspect is once that's complete, the contractor will pour the rest of the concrete around the area. The ADA accessible parking spaces that are being redone will also be one of the next steps. The final part of this project is the accessible safety surfacing, the poured in place. And that will happen when the weather lets us do it. There has to be certain weather conditions for that. So substantial completion date of the project is expected at the end of April. Again, weather depending. I encourage you to go down on a regular basis and see some of that progress. But at this time, the structure itself is not open to the public. And we will make a huge announcement when that day comes, but right now it is not open to the public, but you can stay outside of the construction fencing and see the progress being made. So our overall goal then is to open up the playground for the public before Memorial Day. Any questions?
Jill, just as a reminder to the board, to the public, total price on the project and how much of that were you able to put together with grants and community donations?
So the overall cost of the project was 1.25 million. And with that, the Spark grant was a substantial portion to pay for that $850,000. Of the remaining $400,000 needed, we received a number of local grants. We received some very generous donations, the Parks Department budget, and included in that calculation is some of the savings that we were able to enjoy because of the demolition partnership we had with the Village of Eau Claire.
Really, really nice work.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And for the commissioners who have some material in your hand, this is the pourable that you're talking about for the
Yes.
surface that will be used on the playground for safety.
Yeah, 2 different colors. Those are the colors, and it will be, it's a fall safety and accessible surfacing that's underneath the play structure.
Yeah.
To the board, public praise is something that I know makes Jill a little uncomfortable, but I'm going to do it anyway. To Jill, to your team, this is exceptional work.
Yeah.
And just, I cannot say enough good things about the project, about the efforts, and I can't wait to see as you are the first person to use the zip line, so.
Oh, yeah.
Is that a done deal? Like,
I
it's
I
really
think
happening?
Commissioner Yarborough should be the first person
There
to
we
use the zip line.
Oh.
I do. I can picture it. It'd be beautiful. Thank
Well,
you.
Thanks, Brian, for those words, because
Yeah.
those were, I was gonna echo exactly what you just said, and great work, great vision. I know you have leadership from the park board who helped you in some of the advisory, which Commissioner Yarborough is a part of, and it's really neat to see those dreams come to fruition. So, yeah, absolutely. And it's wonderful to be able to have it put into tangible reality with award also that was received this morning. And so we thank the regional chamber coming to honor them publicly in that way. And we look forward to more great things happening with our parks department. So keep up the great work. All right, with that being said, is there any questions or comments from board? Commissioner Harrison.
So just a reminder that at they won a prize at the annual meeting for the chamber.
Right.
And it was a vote of the people that were present, which is not just something that staff at the chamber gave out. It was a resounding admiration of the work done by the staff.
Yeah.
And so that's just a compliment from the community especially.
Yeah.
So thank you.
That's so true. And, oh, excuse me.
Commissioner Yarborough.
That's what Director Adams said, "Oh, I gotta say a speech. I didn't know we were gonna win." And so, because there were really, you were in, a lot of good things, but you deserve it. And you've worked so hard with all the night meetings and day meetings and not giving up. So thank you all. Thank you all.
Much appreciated. Any other comments, questions? We thank you so much for all of your hard work and for coming to present the update for us and for being able to be a part of that small little bit of all your hard work and celebrating with you today. So with that, we're going to pivot and we're going to turn to Dan Fetty for trails update.
It's
And,
kind of,
you guys are more than welcome to stick around.
well, yeah, I'll keep this real brief. It actually is kind of consistent with what
Yeah,
Jill's working on
it
too.
is.
So
Yeah.
you may have seen, if you've driven up N63 by Higham Park, you've probably seen some tree cutting going on up there, anyone who's driven through there. So part of that is to begin the construction phase of the trail that's supposed to run up to the Whirlpool campus. So we thought it'd be a good opportunity to try to give you an update of where we are. Activity is starting, and we want to make sure that the public understands what's happening and why some of the construction activities are occurring. So I'm going to give you a very brief update of what's going on with the overall master plan for the trails in that area, and then specifically what we're referring to as the Lakeshore Trail, which is that portion that runs from Hickman up to Whirlpool Global Headquarters. If you recall, this is kind of a map of all the trail systems that exist within the current Harbor Shores project, the city of Benton Harbor, where the new apartment complex is, leading all the way up to the mountain bike track that was built on Whirlpool's campus that I think most of you visited during the opening a couple of years ago. One of the more popular recreational destinations in Northern Berrien County right now, really in kind of the region, Tri-County region right now. The final component is the construction of this accessible walkway and bike trail on the east side of M63 from Hickman all the way up to the campus. This gives you an idea of the existing trail structure that includes Harbor Shores projects, the golf course, Gene Clark Park, as well as the Edgewater subdivision over on Upton Drive. Again, this is just kind of a schematic of the overall system that is accessible to the public. Anyone can use these trails. You don't have to be golfing or anything of that nature. This is a schematic of the mountain bike trails constructed up there at Whirlpool. I think some people in this room have used this this trail pretty extensively. This is the development of an additional trail system that'll connect Riverview Drive and the new apartment complex down on the shipping canal over onto Whitwam Drive to an area that we used to refer to as Parcel 2. I don't know if the highlighter is working here, but maybe I can use the mouse Yeah. This is the Harbor Village complex with the Harbor Inn, right, or the Inn at Harbor Shores, pardon me, the hotel. And then this new development parcel here on the west side of M63 North. And here's the trail we're talking about. This is the Lakeshore Corridor that's being constructed through a variety of funding sources that I will show you here in a second. Design, construction, site restoration is now estimated to be 3.3, almost right around 3.3, $3.4 million. That depends on the bids that come in. Remember, this is one where MDOT does the bidding directly and holds the contract directly. The county has received a TAP grant, Transportation Alternative Program grant for $2.1 million. We received a $300,000 grant from the Michigan Natural Resources Trust Fund, another $100,000 grant from the Michigan Trails Foundation, 501c3. The USDA also granted an additional $92,000 directly to the project, and that's being used by Cornerstone to do the design engineering on this. We have what's called a CRP grant of $55,000 that goes directly to the construction cost. It doesn't come to the county, it goes directly to the contractor. And that's a congestion mitigation grant that comes from the federal government. And then donations of approximately $900,000 or $690,000. I'll talk about the donations at the end of this because that's an ongoing process right now. Much like Joe had to do a lot of fundraising, the Friends of Berrien County Trails are doing the fundraising for this component of the project, and I'll show you kind of what's happening with that. So you remember last winter, we were here before you approving certain easement documents. The county had to acquire some easements from both Harbor Shores and Whirlpool Corporation because we were going to be deviating the trail slightly from the right of way. And the reason for that, we have some images that you'll understand why we're doing this. Let me go back to the bottom here and I'm going to show you this easement that we acquired down here on Higman Park Road running east-west and M63 Blue Star running north. This is the easement that we acquired that goes across onto the Harbor Shores property. Okay, and the reason for that is you'll see here on the schematics what's being, and by the way, this is where the tree cutting is occurring right now. Here's the reason that has to happen. We got M63 heading north, Higman Park Road running east and west, and there's a huge elevation change as you go from Higman Park up to Blue Star. Yeah. Right, and there's the tunnel that, or kind of the pedestrian walkway that goes underneath M63 there. So the easement was necessary in order to create the kind of configuration where you weren't climbing a hill directly up onto the highway. And what you can see here is this is the route of the easement coming through here. This is where the tree cutting is happening and where there will be tree restoration once it's completed. This gives you an idea of how that is configured now. That roadway that you see at the bottom there, that would be Higman Park Road, and then above there you see M63. So this easement allows the path to wind its way around in a more gentle slope, so you're not hiking directly uphill. And this gives you an idea what it's going to look like when it's completed. So where it stands right now is we have the grant funding in place, the foundational funding in place. A majority of the private donations are in place. The construction is expected to start probably in late summer, early fall. We're still waiting on 2 more permits from MDOT, which seems to be kind of the story of our lives over the last 12 months waiting for state permits before we can do anything. But we're confident that MDOT will issue these permits within the next month or 2. Bid letting can then happen in the middle of the summer with slated construction to begin at the end of the summer, early fall. So we're about 4 or 5 months behind where we thought we would be in terms of construction schedule. That's actually turned out to be a benefit though, because it's given a little more time for additional fundraising. To that end, if you're in the area this Sunday at Planks at the Inn at Harbor Shores from 4 to 8, there's going to be a dinner donation. So 50% of all purchases are going to be donated to the project. If you're around, I encourage you to come. It's a nice place to have dinner over the weekend in the evening. There is also, if you go to berrientrails.org, that's the webpage for the Friends of Berrien Trails. There's a link there that'll take you to all the basic descriptions of this project. As well as there is a patronicity, that's a donation or a fundraising campaign webpage, a patronicity page where you can, if you choose to do so, you can donate a couple bucks to the project. Right now, MEDC is matching donations up to $75,000. So if the Friends raise 75 grand, MEDC will chip in another 75 grand. And my understanding is they're getting close to that 75,000. So, you know, a couple more dollars will push it over the edge, and then the donations of this project will be complete. And you'll see, by the way, those donations are going to be used to do additional tree and site restorations that weren't originally in the plans, so try to beautify it a little bit more and make it a more of a nature trail. So I encourage you, if you can, come out on Sunday. And if you are generous, or members of the public are generous, visit the patronicity page. We can probably put a link up somewhere for it. And every little dollar is going to help get this completed. So any questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, oh. The 691,000 something.
Yeah.
Is, you already have it, or that's what you're hoping for?
That is the
projects?
ultimate goal in order to complete the total restoration of the site, because we've added, over time, we've added more elements of tree planting, reseeding, and restoration to try to make it more as it appears now, with a lot of like overgrowth and more of a nature trail. So the 690 is the goal, to get all that completed. Now, of that 690, the majority of it is in hand, but they're not quite there yet. Okay.
And then I'd like to know how to get under, to be on the other side of M63. I went there and I could not find, and you
Okay,
just
so if
showed
you're
a
on-
door or something.
Yeah,
didn't
if you're on Hickman Park Road, that sidewalk on Hickman Park, east to west, goes under M63. So if you're on the west side of M63, to get to the trail, you got to go to Hickman Park Road, walk to Hickman Park, and then you can go under M63, and then the trail starts to wind its way around the east side. Okay, it'll go all the way up M63 on the east side until you get to near the Whirlpool global headquarters, where you recall Whirlpool installed a tunnel under M63 to get
That's
back
it.
over to the west side.
It's the
Yeah.
tunnel that I
Yeah,
cannot find.
it's just before essentially the entrance to the Whirlpool parking lot. Okay,
Okay,
so with those two tunnels, you'll be able to get on both sides of the trail and the mountain bike trail,
okay,
from the beginning down at Hickman Park to the end of the Whirlpool.
thank you.
Looks like a little ravine down there.
Yeah.
in the road.
Okay.
But they left it kind of natural, so it's would be harder to see.
Yeah, because I was there when
Which
we,
is nice. I mean, it's-
when we blessed it or whatever, and I've never been. able to find it.
It's a christening of the trail, right?
I'm always getting lost, so that's not.
Any other
unusual.
questions?
All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
I've made it all the way through to.
I see the marks on the agenda. So, public comments, anyone have any?
Mr. Chair, Maureen Adams, just hoping to offer a quick comment in the draft.
Okay.
Good visual.
Mr. Chairman, Maureen's got an event going on this weekend that, it's been part of your weekly updates, but I figure it's got a few minutes and she's here, so I'll let her speak to what's going on.
Good morning. So last week we gave you our community event invitations for the pinning ceremony that's going to be Saturday morning in front of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Monument on the bluff. So I just wanted to give you an update. All of the veterans are going to get a package from our office that we prepared for them. We had, let me slide this out. They're gonna get a In addition to the Vietnam pin, they're gonna get a challenge coin from our office. They're gonna get the symbolism of the pin. And then we had some kids in the community do some welcome home cards for them. So they're all gonna get that. They also will get pinned by either Eric Larson, Ryan McNeely, and then we have Lexi Jones from the MBAA coming out. She's the Strategic Outreach Director. She'll be there to pin them as well. Our speakers are going to be Joey Andrews, Brad Barquette, and Congressman Huizinga. We do have it on the big sign in downtown St. Joe. Right now, we have 57 veterans that have RSVP'd to come out. So, and we're hoping that we'll get some more. We ordered 100 chairs. We do have a tent that I'm hoping we don't have to put up. I chose to put it outdoors in front of that monument. And I'm gonna go with it. So if y'all can pray for good weather between 10 and 11:30 on Saturday, I would appreciate that as well. Do I have any questions or?
Anyone have any questions for Maureen?
It's 10 o'clock. It's starting at 10 o'clock. Right. So, and we've been getting a lot of good feedback from the veteran community on it as well. So we're going to conduct it the same way we did last year when you did the resolution. We will do a roll call. We also have a gentleman, his name is Ben Balos. I always say his name wrong. So Ben does a song. He put a poem that's about the Vietnam War. It's called As I Listen to the Rain to Music. And so Ben's going to come out and perform that song for us as well. And so it's going to be pretty great.
Thank you, Maureen.
You're welcome.
Since we didn't have any public comments, is there any other business? Okay, we'll break early for committees and come back at 10:30.